Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again. And this could be a part two on a video I just uploaded, so to speak. And this one will go more in depth of exactly where the Christianity come from. And you'll see interviews and discussions from scholars who follow the Roman campaigns throughout um, throughout the world. Remember, the Romans destroyed a nation, the Druids, and destroyed evidence of them ever existing. That's how thorough they are. So to trick and deceive a bunch of Afro people would sometimes be easy when you have a traitor like Josephus who is helping them and giving them insight on the mentality of the Afro people. Sort of like what the so-called Black Quean has done with the white man, giving them insight on how to destroy the Afro man. And them giving her the power through the court system to keep the Afro family destroyed. Okay? And so that's why I call this Yah's commandments versus Christianity and the so-called Black Quang. All right. Now, let me greet everybody real quick. Worden hardu guda polo oi to the bang versus los bonjour mes amis. Quero bawani konnichiwa. Ni hao ni ama sani bonani jambo herbaragani. Assalamu alaikum and shalom. Let me remind you to get those thumbs up. Kumusta ka, kumusta po kayo, and talafa lava soy fu. Let me remind you, thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and my donation links are in the description box if you like what I do for the community and the communities that I help out. And so now from there, let's really get into this as we further deconstruct this thing, Christianity, that has been used as a weapon against us.
Hey YouTube, what's up? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again with news and views and my news on some of the news and issues that's going on out there. All right, so first I would like to start off by saying Oi to the bang, Vases los, Bonjour mes amis, uh, Kedu, Bawani, Konnichiwa, and Ni hao ma. All right. Um, so with all that out of the way, and hello to the rest of y'all. Um, this one is the commandments versus Christianity and the Black Queen. All right. So we're going to deal with this is going to be a whole series where I'm going to show you what all the commandments are and give you some examples of what we're doing to break some of these. All right. And as we know that Christianity is witchcraft. Christianity teaches us to break the commandments. Christianity teaches us that the commandments don't matter because there's something called a New Testament. Because the same Almighty One that's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore is different to Christians, even though in the same breath they'll say, no, he's the same yesterday and to ever forevermore. He says that his commandments shall always stand. All right, but the New Testament changes them. We'll get into part of what changed it. And as part of this series, I am using supporting document from some research that other professionals, some doctors have done, and we're going to you're going to see a documentary, and it's going to play out even as I show you these commandments. This documentary, I'm gonna have bits and pieces. I have it in its entirety on my channel, and I often have people go back so that they can look at them. They're usually in the questions to the contest. All right. There's room. There is one more watch, by the way, that's waiting to be won. All right, by someone. So I would look at the videos, especially ones where I put up the last winner, and that might help somebody first get in because he did all the work and won his choice. He should have received this watch today. So, brother, if you received it today, let me know. All right, all right. So, basically, so this is the commandments versus Christianity and the Black Queen. Now, Exodus 20:1, and Elohim spoke these words, saying, and it's Elohim, not Elohim. All right, it's Elohim. That's how it was originally written and pronounced. I am Yahweh, your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, which is Mitzrayim, which is what Egypt is called now, out of the house of slavery. Exodus 20:3. You have no other mighty ones against my face. That means kings, black queens, or women that think they're God. Or that women that says that the black man made us God because our coochie should be worshipped. All right, ain't nobody worshiping that. And we'll get to that in a minute. All right, Exodus 20:4. You do not make yourself a carved image or any likeness of that which is in the heavens above, or which is in the earth beneath, or which is in the waters under the earth. Exodus 20:5. You do not bow down to them nor serve them. For all you Christians that serve the cross, bow down to the cross. Um, any item that you bow down to, this is what made the Almighty different from anything that everybody else was worshiping. That He did not require you to bow down to some image made to Him, and you did not have to go spend a bunch of money to get trinkets in order to worship Him. He says, no, I'm going to keep it simple, stupid. Here's some commandments. Follow these, and if you follow these, I will be with you. If you don't, then everything else will be your fault. I'm tired of people blaming the Almighty for all the death and destruction that men cause because they do not follow the commandments. What kind of God is the God of the Old Testament? Well, one, it's funny how we do all this evil but blame the devil or blame God for them. But we never stopped to look at all these commandments that He gave us and said that if we would just be nice to one another, treat each other with respect, not steal from each other and all kind of junk like that, that the earth would be a good place to live. But no, we couldn't follow Him. We wanted, us Israelites wanted a king. So that's putting the mighty one before His face. And He told Samuel in 1 Samuel, the whole 8th chapter, if you read it, 1 Samuel 8th chapter, he said they didn't turn their backs on you, Samuel. They turned their backs on me. They have not forsaken you, Samuel. They have forsaken me. So because they do that, I turn my backs on them. And that's when all hell broke loose for us Israelites. All right. For I, Yahweh, your Elohim, am a jealous all, visiting the crookedness, and it should be a jealous Allah, not El. So it's I, Yahweh, your Elohim, am a jealous Allah, visiting the crookedness of the fathers on the children to the third and fourth generations of those who hate me, but showing kindness. Exodus 20:6, but showing kindness to the thousands, to those who love me and guard my commandments. You do not bring the name of Yahweh your Elohim to naught, meaning cause people to forget His name. For Yahweh does not leave unpunished one who brings His name to nothing. All right? And that's exactly what Christianity did. All right? That's exactly this whole thing. We disobeyed all of this as a people for those who follow religions and Christianity, but especially Christianity. And at the forefront, to spearhead some of that, is our black women that taught us as we was little, took us to the white Christian church, so that we will follow Christianity, right? Now, here's a little more about Christianity. All right, pay attention. All I did was put the commandments back up. I did it for a couple of reasons, right? But look at these commandments as these researchers talk.
Josephus arrives back in Rome with Titus. He becomes an adopted member of the Flavian family. An amazing turn of events for the Jewish
We've been through this part
turncoat.
before in my last video.
He becomes Flavius Josephus. Josephus at this time begins writing the history of the war, and he records that Titus gave him the Jewish scripture. Josephus's histories have always been associated with the origins of Christianity.
Time and again you can find parallels between what Josephus writes and what turns up in the Gospels. It's a powerful evidence of their true origin.
In reading the works of Josephus side by side with the Gospels, scholars have noticed parallels between the two works. It appears as though the history of Josephus records events that fulfill the prophecies of the Old and New Testaments. Early Christians understood this connection. In fact, when the Bible first began to be printed in the Middle Ages, it included the history of Josephus.
He was employed to write the official history that we have. The other histories from this period have been destroyed ruthlessly by the Romans. Josephus tells us this in very chilling passages, how the Romans exerted complete control of the literature of this period. There were alternative histories of the Jewish war written. Well, the Romans rounded up the writers of those histories and executed them. They rounded up all the copies of those histories and destroyed them. That is to say, they ruthlessly wiped out any alternative history, so that the only history we have is written by Josephus. And let's remember who Josephus was.
Chief propagandist of the Flavian dynasty, and he was very, very successful. He moved back to Rome. He was given an apartment in the emperor's own townhouse, and he was appointed the chronicler of the Roman Jewish War, using Vespasian's own diaries of the events.
Also in
Welcome
the pages
to your
of his
New
history,
Testament.
Josephus declares that the Jews' Messiah or Christ is none other than Flavius Vespasian and his dynastic family.
To put it succinctly, Josephus says that there was a prophecy that a world ruler would come out of Palestine. The Jews thought this applied to one of their own. They were wrong in their interpretations. He used the most cynical interpretation. He applied it to the rise of the Roman emperor in Palestine.
Josephus recorded that the Messianic prophecies foresaw not a Jew, but Vespasian and his dynasty. In fact, all of the Flavian historians recorded that the Flavian Caesar was the Christ.
Woo!
It was important to the Flavians that they be seen as the Christ, as
Whoop, there it
divine
is.
and godlike, and this was not mere vanity. The Julio-Claudians before them had already established that presenting themselves as gods was a powerful tool in controlling their subjects. When the Flavians took over the throne, they inherited an enormous bureaucracy that was already in place, the imperial cult, which was dedicated to promoting the idea of Caesar as a god.
Hello, Christians.
Another part of the puzzle is the Roman imperial cult. Why is it important? Well, because it coincides with that same period of time as the emergence of the Christ cult.
You had a whole social community. The whole social structure of these conquered territories was governed by the imperial cult. And if you wanted to succeed, the key social community to join was the imperial cult, because that's where all the movers and shakers were.
This idea of the emperor becoming an object of worship was well established in the Roman system before Vespasian and Titus came along. It was prevalent in all major centres. It had its own priesthood. There was a ceremony, an annual celebration, annual games for the imperial cult. Now,
Imperial
it
cult
had many characteristics which would later colour the Christian cult. It grew in the same centres. It made claims that were later transferred to Christ.
The Julio-Claudians had claimed that they were of divine descent and that they were therefore legitimate. Their power base was the Roman aristocracy, the Roman nobility. All of that collapsed into this power vacuum. Vespasian was declared emperor by the troops, by the Roman army. So effectively, it was a military coup. With the change of dynasty, they have to create a whole mythology to legitimise that dynasty. At the same time, they're creating a whole mythology to counter Jewish messianism. Somewhere along the line, those two things get mixed together.
When Vespasian died, Titus began the process of having his father deified. This is a complicated process because only the Roman Senate can bestow on an individual the title of deus or God. Titus came to the Senate and presented evidence that the life of his father had been divine. Certainly this would have included the military campaign that the Flavians waged through Judea.
And the Roman Senate became the
time,
cardinals.
I think the Gospels were written. Because the theological structure in the Gospels of a God the Father and the Son of God is the same one that Titus would have been presenting to the Roman Senate. Well, the Roman Senate did accept Titus's evidence, and Vespasian was deified and became a god. Titus, therefore, became a son of God.
Well, there's your Trinity, y'all.
The Arch of Titus that still stands in modern Rome today is inscribed with a dedication to the divine Titus, son of the divine Vespasian, or son of a god. This imperial cult, set up to worship Caesar as God, also provided the basis for the structure of the Roman Catholic Church.
Now, the rituals, paraphernalia and symbols of paganism were transferred wholesale to the Christian church. The most obvious and clear example is where the title of the pagan chief priest of Rome, the Pontifex Maximus, became the title of the Pope, the Christian Pope. If you look at who held the original bishop positions in the Catholic Church in those early times, you will see that they are members of the same pagan aristocracy. They simply changed their clothing a little bit. They wore the same garments, but they wore slightly different headdresses. They had become from being a priest of a pagan cult to being a priest of Rome.
Where the Vatican now stands, there was once a pagan temple which celebrated the mysteries of a dying and resurrecting God-man who wasn't Jesus. There are many churches in Rome, I've been to a few, where you go above into the church and there is Jesus, and you go underneath
It's
and there's a little
Mithras.
sanctuary of Mithras, and it's basically the same figure.
Exactly.
So the Roman plot to invent Christianity is just so clever when you think about it. Through the Pope, who is God's representative on earth, they no longer needed expensive standing armies, wars, and punishment of disobedient peasants. They could, through religion,
Get
rule
everybody to
their
kill each
subjects.
other. And rule their subjects through religion
Over time, Roman Christianity propagated
by
throughout the
brainwashing
empire
them.
by way of the mass media of the day, the Roman roads. The Romans must have approved of this.
All right, y'all understand this? The same way the Romans used religion and made up a religion that was subservient to the leadership, that made you fear the leadership as God. You know, like the black woman wanted to be God. And we'll get into the hypocrisy of that in a minute. Right? They invented that. The Roman Pope is the vicar of Christ on earth, meaning he's the representative of the Almighty on earth in human form. All right, that's his official title. All right, but all this was made up by the Romans, who then made up the Catholic Church. All of you who are Christian, you're Catholic, and you're idiots if you don't understand this. And I can't believe how simple you are to not know the history of what you say you believe. If you're Baptist, then you follow a white guy who invented the Baptist church, who started the Baptist church in England. Same for Presbyterians. Same for the rest of that. And everything that was started in the United States, which is like the Kojic and the apostolic movement, came from out of those movements. So you're 3 times removed from the Catholic Church, but you're still doing the same thing. Worshiping the same wood and the same stone. So, for you black women that want to be the queen, that want to be God, that want to be Mother Earth, this is who represents you. This is what the world see of you. They see a women who's going around getting these butt injections, these black queens, these Mother Earths, getting all these butt injections to please thugs and white men, and not the decent white men with jobs, but the thug white men too, with all tatted up and stuff like that, right? That's making y'all look stupid. All right. And then you got this Christian woman in blue at the BET Awards, where you can see everything. Nothing is really left to the imagination in that blue dress. And then was talking to a significant lady friend, and she was telling me that she has no underwear on. All right. And so this is a woman that didn't wear underwear or a bra and have her breasts all out and have a dress so tight that you can't, there's nothing to leave to the imagination of her booty. Now, the difference is this is not Little Kim. This is not Nicki Minaj. You see what I'm saying? This is a woman of God who's engaged to the pastor who led her and walked her on to have her pictures taken. Y'all saw the video. All right. So these black females want to be gods. They want to be the Mother Earth. They think they're the black queens. You're not a queen, because we're not supposed to have kings. If we're not supposed to have queens, there dang sure ain't no kings. There dang sure ain't no queens, right? All the black women did was brainwash our children to hate black men, to hate structure, to not build, brainwash their daughters to not ever choose a good black man, but choose the same sorry black men that they've been choosing, but then blame all their ills on the black man. Oh, but the white man, they don't blame crap on him. Remember what happened to Nelly with the tip drill video when he slid that credit card? Remember the outcry from black women? Oh, and black women is the biggest participant in legalized murder. Again, I put the stats for abortion right up here. You see the gold thing, abortion way up there. It now outnumbers everything else combined. So black women are have participated in legalized murder, and they have murdered more black people than they're now birthing. Mother Earth, God of what? God of destruction? No outcry.
You recently tweeted that you like chocolate milk. You know, I'm chocolate. You know.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I'm gonna tell you like this. My child is black.
No, it's not. He a white
Black
boy,
girls get
so
the
his
best
child
head.
can't be black.
Do they now?
100%. Yeah.
Really? So black.
Facts.
Okay, so you know that's funny because usually we're told that we don't.
No, understand that. A white boy says black girls give the best head at the BET Award, right? Her name is Stephanie Ogbogu. Okay, Stephanie Ogbogu, and also known as 11-8. All right, and she's back up here, and this comment is back up here is that because the modern black woman also worship the white men in some form or other. You see what I'm saying? But then they want the black man and the black child, to worship her. So the black woman worships the white man in some form or other. So you got the white Jesus, you got the white rapper MGK that told this girl that black women give the best head, and she gasped, and she was kind of proud. She's up in his face like, I'm chocolate, you like me too? So if he say, come on, let's go screw, she'll be back there giving him what he said they the best at, right? He didn't say that black women were the smartest, they're the most educated. He didn't say they're the biggest business starters. He said they give the best blowjobs. All right. And she started to, yeah, that's right, we do. Like she took offense that people didn't acknowledge that black women give better blowjobs than white women. Why are black women competing with white women like this? No, I mean competing with white women to the bottom, and they're already there. The black woman is already there. You see what I'm saying? Again, down there in blue, dark blue, the population of black women, that's 13%. The dark blue on the other side, that's the new HIV infections among women and girls. The dark blue is the black women. That is 64%. You see the dark blue population, 13%? And then you go and look at the dark blue, 64%. All right, but black women, they don't check themselves on that. Oh, I'll have some coming to me arguing with me on trying to. I'm just deleting them. I don't waste my breath with them, with sisters like that. They ain't sisters. And we need to stop calling them sisters. If you're not sisters, then you ain't a sister. If you, to the other side, if you joining in cahoots for the destruction of the black community, then you're not sisters. If you're worshiping this white Jesus, then you're no sister of mine. All right? But they're worshiping in either this white man or any ratchet white man that comes up and tell them, oh, you do some nasty stuff, and we like that. All right? But then they want the black man and the black child to worship them as queens. See how stupid that is? But it makes a whole lot of sense to the modern day black women. They couldn't even kiss the panties of the old school black women before 1960. All right? It's really, really, really bad. This is how bad it is. This is how really bad it is. All right? And this is my final thoughts. Black men. All right, this is for us black men. All right. Now, I've been warning you, and the purpose of my channel and videos was to warn you about black women. Now, my final thoughts on this is black men. We got to stop worshiping these that the arrows are pointing to, the big arrows, and start following these, the commandment that the small arrow point to. I don't care what religion you say you are. The balance and the foundation of all of them is these commandments, or at least the major three. All right, which we know that all of them were perpetrated by the Catholic Church to get us as a people away from these commandments. We didn't need trinkets, ornaments, or anything to know who the Almighty was. We had His commandments. So now we're settling for these little hip girls getting these booty injections that's going to bust in somebody's hand sooner or later. And while black women are proud to be under cover of Essence and Ebony and stuff like that, that's run by the white man. But oh, that ain't what the real shame in all of this is. All right, you black men, you black women that come to my channel and look at this, if they watch any TV and any of the garbage that is being put out there for you to brainwash your children with, so they won't be able to tell genders, so that they won't know the Almighty, so that they won't be able to have a grasp of any kind of knowledge that is good and that's going to benefit them when they get older. Now we got to deal with this. What's significant about this magazine cover? The essence. Unless you watch a lot of TV, I bet you a lot that most of you brothers can't tell which one of these is a man. One of them things is a man. But here's the sad part. Everybody put up on so much fake stuff that you really can't tell. And because of what black women are having done to their bodies, you're really not going to be able to tell the man from the black woman. Understand this now and be honest with yourself. And here's the saddest part about it. Oh, another abortion thing up there. Just to remind you, sorry sisters, that you are guilty of murder. 73 to 2000. The other one was 73 to maybe 2004 or 6. I can't remember. All right. But the sad state is this. That this girl, she's going to get older. She's going to keep getting more and more injections like the woman in the previously. Because they don't know when to stop. Because it's turned into a sickness. Even the weave in their head is a sickness. All right. But you black women, any black women saying this, and that makes it to the end of this video, my final thoughts is this. You can't tell the man from the rest of the women in the Essence magazine. And the fact that I'm telling you that there's a man on the cover of Essence that was on the cover of Ebony that got more photo ops for being a beautiful female than black women, that ought to say something to you getting all this fake stuff done to your body. But one of those things is a man. None of them, with the exception of one, is 100% real. All right. But one of these women in here is a man. And I bet you y'all have a hard time telling which one. The ones that don't watch TV. So I'm not going to tell you which one is the man. In the comment section, I want you to tell me which one you think is a man. We'll number it starting from left to right, the top to the bottom. Is the upper top left, that's number 1, middle top 2, 3, bottom left 4, middle bottom 5, and bottom right 6. All right, so upper left 1, upper middle 2, upper right 3, bottom left 4, bottom middle 5, bottom right 6. By telling me the number, which one do y'all think is the man? With that said, I'm out. Oh, tell me how many look like men. With that said, now I'm out for real.
Remember, brother, that most of these black women and these churches and governments have their own agenda. And it is primarily to unalive and destroy us, family included, so that we will have no offspring. Remember, this is what the BAW is leading you to when she wants you to go to her church and follow her pastor. Remember, this is what the government wanted for you, right? Remember, we are more lawful when we're following the commandments, and then we can protect our own, because it gives you leeway to fight those that try to persecute you, but only in a just way. All right? It isn't a turn the other cheek thing. See, that's what they wanted, soft men. And we don't have time to be that. With that said, I'm out.